So now is the time to start learning through exercises, whatever basics we have covered till now and more. Initially, we will start with making very basic geometry and curves, and we'll try to cover maximum basic commands used in Rhino. Let's start by making very basic solids like cone, sphere, box, and cylinder. First, let's open a new Rhino file and select any template. In this case, I am taking large objects meters, so my units will be in meters. And straight away, I will save my file. To create any solids in Rhino, you can go to main toolbar under standard tab and can tear up the cascade toolbar of solid creation. In that, you will find the command of cone. You can also go to solid tools tabs and can explore more solid tools in that toolbar. Here also you will find a cone command. Left click and it will activate the cone command in your command prompt. Now it will ask you to give the base of the cone. To start from the origin, you can either activate the grid snap toggle and snap at the origin, or you can just type 0 and hit enter or space bar or right click of your mouse. It will automatically snap the origin of the Rhino. Next, it will ask about the radius for the base of your cone. So you can either give the radius, or there are other options as well. If you want to give the diameter or the circumference or the area of the base of your cone. So here in this case, I will give the radius, let's say 10 meters, and press enter. Now you will see it will ask you for the end point of your cone. If you see in the right hand side viewport, a white inference line is showing the direction of the cone, which is both plus z and minus z. This is because the directional constant here is vertical. If you don't give any directional constant, if we change it to none, you will see the cone is free to be made in any directions. If I want it to be fixed in x, y, and z coordinates, I can use the shift key to fix it there and give the endpoint of the cone. We can take help of other viewports like right view and front view to set up our direction of the cone if we are not able to do it in perspective. Now I will take end of cone in positive z direction as 20 meters and press enter, and our cone is completed. I will change the display mode in perspective from wireframe to shaded. This will give a better view of the cone. Similarly, let's make a sphere. In the solid tools, find the cascade of sphere tools. You will find so many other ways to create a sphere in Rhino. For example, by using radius, diameters, 3-point sphere or 4-point sphere, and so on. But for now, I will tell you how to create a sphere by using radius or the center. Select the sphere from center or radius. You can also type the initials of the sphere like SP, and it will bring you the sphere command in the list. You can select from there. Now in the command line, it will ask you to provide the center of the sphere. So from here also, you have an option to provide 2 centers or 3 centers or tangents for your sphere. But I will provide only 1 center point. I will type 0 to start from the origin and use left mouse click in the top view to start my sphere. And now it will ask me to provide the radius. I can also provide diameter, orientation, circumference, and area. These were the same options when we were making the base of the cone. Now I will provide the radius of 10 meters and press enter. It will complete the sphere. Now this is the right time to tell you a small trick in Rhino. If you want to zoom extend your model in all viewports at once, just go to zoom extend tool icon. Here in this case, I put it in my pop-up for frequent and fast access. You can also find it under Standard tab. When you hover your mouse over the Zoom Extend icon, it will show you two options as tooltips. One is Zoom Extend by using left mouse click, and other is Zoom Extend in all viewports by using right mouse click. So you can use right mouse click if you want to zoom extend your model in all the viewports in your graphics area at once. Make sure your cursor is over the zoom extend icon when you do that. Now back to sphere. Half of the sphere is in -z direction, but I want the whole sphere to be in positive. For that, I can go to right hand side view and select my sphere. Now type MOV in the command line. It'll bring the move command in the list. Select the move command from the list. Once the move command is active, activate your end snap and quad snap. Now snap to the bottom of the sphere using quad snap. Start moving the sphere. Here you can directly type 0 and it will put the sphere at the origin. And now our sphere is at the same level as our cone. Now let's make another solid, which is a box. But before that, let me make some space in the model. For that, I will select the sphere in the perspective viewport and move it. But this time I will not use move command. I will just use the gumball cursor. I will click and drag the grid icon in the gumball in top viewport when my sphere is selected and place it to desired location. Same way, I will select cone and will move it to opposite direction using the same method. Now, to make a box, go to Solid Tools and tear the Cascade toolbar of box. You will find so many other ways to make a box. For example, using corner to corner method, using diagonal method, using 2 points or 3 points, and bounding box. For now, I will show you how to make corner to corner box. As usual, you can select the box tool from here, or you can go to command prompt and type BO. Now, select the box command from the list. It will ask you to provide first corner of the base. So I will click anywhere in the viewport to start the box. And then it will ask you to provide another corner. Left click again to complete the base of the box. Next, it will ask you to provide height of the box. Here, you can either type the height and press enter, or you can just press enter without typing anything. Then Rhino will automatically take the width of the box as its height. But here I will provide the height as 20 meters, same as I've given for other solids, and press enter to complete the box. Next solid we'll try is cylinder. Again, we go to solid tool tabs and find for a cylindrical shape icon in the sidebar. Left click to activate cylinder tool. It will ask to provide base of cylinder. You will find similar options as we found for sphere and cone. Now type 0 to start the cylinder from the origin. Now it will ask to provide radius. You can also provide diameter, circumference, and other options. I will provide radius as 10 meters and press enter. Now it will ask to provide height or end of the cylinder. Make sure your directional constraint is vertical so that the height of the cylinder automatically gets in positive Z direction. And the option of both sides should be no. This will make sure the height goes only in one direction. Now I will give height as 20 meters and press enter, and the cylinder is completed. Now I will move these solids and arrange them a little bit so that all solids are visible properly. Now we will try to draw some curves in Rhino and understand how different viewports can help in getting curves in all directions, which is not possible through perspective viewport only. First, let me make some space to create curves in Rhino. To make free-flowing curves in Rhino, you need to go to Curve Tools in main toolbar under Standard tab. Tear the cascade tools of curve. Here you will find many options by which you can create free-flowing curves in Rhino. But first, let's start with the basic one, which is control point curve. I will close the cascade toolbar and can directly take the control point curve command by just clicking the icon. Now, it will ask you to provide start point of the curve. With that, there are more options like degree, sub-D friendly, and others. I will quickly give you a brief about degree parameter. Currently, the degree value is 2. Let me select it and change it to 3, which is the maximum number of degree value we can have. After that, press enter. Now start making your curve by providing points as shown on the screen. These points will act as control points through which I can control the curve. You can see with the degree value of 3, the curve is smooth. But what happens if we keep the degree value to 1? So I will go back to the control point curve command by using right click of my mouse. Then change the degree to 1. Now when you will make your curves, it will give you straight lines. So based on your need, you can modify the degree of the control point curves. Now let's bring back the control point curve command. I will change the degree value to 2 and start making the curve. First, I will start giving few points in the top viewport. Once you are done with the last point in top viewport, without changing anything, directly move your mouse to the front viewport. Here, you will see I have an option to make curves in both X and Z direction. To make in Z direction was not possible from top view, so it can be done from both front view and right hand side view. Now, to continue the curve and make it in Y direction from the same point to the same thing, just shift your mouse to right viewport and start making curve in Y direction. Give few points in Y direction also. And now, let's see our curve in perspective viewport. You can see how organic and complex the curve has become, which goes in all 3 directions, X, Y, and Z. Now, I will provide some thickness to this curve by considering it as a pipe. The best way to do that is by using pipe command. Type the initials PIP and the pipe command will reflect in the list. You can select from there. It will ask to select the rails. Here, rail means the curve which we have just created. Once the rail is selected, it will ask to provide start radius, which means radius at one end or the starting end of the curve. You can also provide diameter instead of radius. You can also set what kind of output you want of the pipe, like you want a surface or a poly surface or a solid and others. You can also control the thickness of the pipe, but currently I don't want to give any thickness, so it is set to no. Also, I want to close the pipe from all sides, so I will keep the cap as flat. We'll keep exploring all these options slowly as we progress in learning. Now, I will give start radius as 1. Then it will ask about end radius. I want a tapered pipe which start from small radius and end at bigger radius. So I will provide end radius as 2 meters. Now press enter to complete the pipe. You can see now how easily the pipe is created, which has more thickness on the top and less at the bottom, and it is gradually getting tapered from top to bottom. Now the important task for you guys is to create a 3D composition by using all these solids which we have created. Here is one example for you, which I have already done it for you. Let me explain the steps of creating this composition. You can use the same steps or can create your own